Athletes who define a team, an era, or even a city are few and far between. Not every town in America can even boast such a star, but amazingly, the city of Denver has been blessed with a handful of them. Joe Sakic, Patrick Waugh, and of course, John Elway. But two steps behind Elway in the vaunted Broncos backfield of the 90s was another such athlete, Terrell Davis. It could be argued that Davis was the greatest back in Denver Broncos history. During his playing days, his statistics were unrivaled. And TD's numbers didn't just fill the record books in Denver, they were among the best in the history of professional football. It's been 9 years since Davis wore the orange and blue in Denver, but recently he's been spending a lot of time back in the Mile High City. Why? Well, that answer might surprise you. I caught up with number 30 for the August edition of the Mile High Interview.
This is why I'm back. The story is, when I was here, I was doing some foundation work, and we were trying to raise money for my foundation, the Salute the Kids Foundation. And we were doing the things that everybody else does, right? You do the golf tournaments, you do bowling tournaments, you do everything else that people do. And at the same time, we just felt that it's got to be an easier way to raise money on a daily basis and give back and make a bigger impact. And so when I was doing it here, I kind of stopped doing it because I was a little sour on the whole going out there raising money with golf tournaments, and it didn't suit what I wanted to do. So we kind of switched gears and said, let's get a product out that can give back every day, and we can do the same thing, maybe have a bigger impact. Whereas if you can have the sauce, you like it, right? You've tried it, right?
Yep.
And you enjoy it. So now that's one thing, you like it. You have 2 bottles, right? So she likes it. On top of that, the same token, we're giving back to the community.
While Davis is busy with his efforts in the community and new barbecue sauce, the Denver Broncos will always be near and dear to his heart. He's giving back now, but it's what the city and the football team gave him that Davis remembers most about Denver.
When I think about what I miss most, it's hanging out with the guys. You know, it was a small, close-knit fraternity, and the different personalities that we had, the different backgrounds, and you all come together, and I just laughed thinking about it. It was fun. I mean, we're winning games at the same time, but the locker room was probably the best part.
What was it that made that ground game so great?
A lot of different things. You know, people, we can say starting from our offensive line, who you know, those guys up front, any running back will tell you that you've got to have blocking up front. I don't care how great you are. You can't do it by yourself. And so the guys up front made it possible. Our wide receivers blocked. Rod Smith, Eddie Mack, Shannon as our tight end did a great job of blocking. And then you got, with John back in the backfield, you got to respect our passing game. So we had a balanced attack all over where everybody contributed.
All right, what was the origin of the Mile High Salute, and why do you think it stick?
Oh man, it's probably some debate about how it was conceived. But we came up with it one day. I'll say I did. I came up with it one day. And the running backs, we wanted to have something that was kind of symbolic of what we do. And when you look around it, I said, okay, well, what are we? We're soldiers. We're the toughest guys out there. We have the hardest position. We get beat up the most. We have to go into the briar patch. We got to go in the landmines. It's a physical position. So the one thing I could relate to or equate it to was soldiers. I mean, we really are. We have to be a soldier. You have to be a soldier to be a running back. So I felt that that's what we are. We're soldiers.
Davis was indeed a soldier, going to battle for the Denver Broncos and ultimately being the driving force in achieving a goal that was always elusive to the franchise, the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
Walking out and seeing all the different flags of the NFL teams, all the different colors, seeing all the different news crews and camera crews from all over the country, all over the world, basically, different media badges and stuff. And so that sort of confirmed that this is the big one. I didn't get a little nervous, but I got too excited. I sort of wore myself out before the game, and that never happens to me. I'm normally pretty calm, but that game got me so excited I forgot to take my medication for migraines, and that's really how I ended up getting a migraine anyway.
Going back to that exact moment, were you surprised or even a little irritated that Shanahan made you go back in the game?
No, not at all. No, you don't even think about it. Matter of fact, I just trust that as long as he knew that I couldn't see, and I didn't want to put him in a situation where I didn't inform him that I couldn't see, and then he gives me the football, and then we have problems. Mm-hmm. But I don't like to leave the field. And so it kind of hurt me to go tell Mike. And I tried to stay on as long as I could, but it was just affecting the way I was playing at the time. So I felt, you know what, I have to let Mike know that I can't see, and just don't give me the football. And so he's like, well, you got to go up there, because if you don't play, you know the famous line, then they don't believe we're going to run the football.
Armed with 2 championships and the statistics to match, only longevity stands between Davis and the Hall of Fame. But at the moment, that distinction is something that doesn't concern him.
If I could do something about it, then it would be important, because now I could go out there and help to do it. But at this point, there is absolutely nothing that I can do right now. And so why would you worry about something you have no control over? But if it don't, it doesn't change my life. It just doesn't change my life. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Through his first 4 seasons, Terrell Davis rushed for a whopping 4.8 yards per carry. He scored 56 touchdowns, more than any back ever in their first 4 seasons. And in 1998, he became only the 4th running back in NFL history to rush for more than 2,000 yards in a single season. Will Davis enter the hallowed grounds of the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Only time will tell, but until then, he'll always be one of Denver's favorite athletes. If you'd like to read the entire interview with Terrell Davis, make sure to pick up an August issue of Mile High Sports magazine. This is Robin Carlin, and you're watching Mile High Sports TV. Stay tuned as Casey Light takes us golfing with Gil Whiteley.